Hey, hi all. Let's wait for a couple of minutes for the class students to join. I'm taking the class from online today, so let's wait for a couple of minutes for them. Okay. So, any issues? Any other issues in installing or downloading the Oracle or something? Have you ever encountered? Problems in installing. Who is this? Deepthi. So your issue is resolved, right, Deepthi?
Yes. I don't know, maybe it's the old.
Deepthi?
Yes, hello?
Hello, Deepthi.
Yeah.
Is your issue resolved? Okay, cool. Fine. So I believe everyone has got database now, right? At least a working database for us to practice on. I have problem installing Oracle. Oh, have you sent an email to me for that? All right. So what happened? What was the problem? Yeah, please send me an email so that I can guide you in getting that fixed. Yeah, yeah, I saw your name, Shiraz. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, okay, super. Good. 17, huh? Ah, okay, no issues. Right. Done.
Hello.
26th.
ओके बोलना नहीं बस देखना बस
Hello.
Sorry, man. I was in the class. I haven't seen your call.
Oh, okay. No, actually, told you'll be getting this car, so I thought of telling if you're going to class, you can take this car. That is the reason I called you.
No. I'm taking the class from home today.
Oh, okay. Then tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'll plan.
Okay, if you want, you can take this car.
Sure. No issues.
Anyway, I'm taking to office, right? So
Yeah.
directly. So anyway, you'll be going in town.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, man.
So
Regarding car, tomorrow we'll get the complete thing, but today we don't have anything. So I just gave the card to them. No. Tomorrow he'll give the update as what's the approach on it. Okay. For now it would be somewhere. I mean, they gave the estimate is somewhere around 2,500. Okay. 2,500. As the okay. Fine then. Okay, man. Yeah. See you. Thanks. So,
Yes. Can you
hello,
hear
Arvind.
me?
Arvind, I do hear you.
Yeah, class is on. Yeah,
Okay. Thank you, Arvind. Right.
no problem.
All right. So the other day we were talking about the SQLs, right? The database related stuff. So we started it and we started working on few of the queries. So what is select star from a particular table? What do we get out of it? What do we get out of it? We get all the, sorry. Right, we get all the records from that particular table. All right, so that is what a select star from a particular table name. All right. So at the same time, we were using some filtering conditions. So what is the clause with which you are going to use a filter? What is the clause? How do we filter the records from a particular table? No, filtering records from a particular table. Using a where clause. Like, yes, perfect, Shiraz. Like let's say select star from EMP. All right. So now I'll get all the details of that particular employees, right? I'll be having all the employee details within this particular table, or all the employee records would be displayed over here. Now, if I want to be displayed with only those employees who are working in department number 20. So what I have to do, I need not to display all other employees who are working in any other departments except 20. I have to display only them. So what would I do? Select star from EMP. Now I have a requirement to filter out my data, not the entire data. I have to just make a pass of that particular valid data. So how can that be made? Where department number is equal to 20. Alright, so this is how I can execute my query. So what is here, where is the filtering condition? Where is the filtering clause which would filter out your entire data? Alright, now here, sorry? Yeah. Now here you're using an equal to operator. So what is here? What is the equal to operator here? Equal to operator is a relational operator. Okay, it's a relational operator with which you are going to filter out the data. Other than equal to, you have many other relational operators, like if a requirement is in this way, right? Display all those employees who are not working in department number 20, right? If at all my requirement is in this way, okay. Now what I have to do, I have to write my SQL according to my requirement. So my requirement says department number not equal to 20, right? Exclamation followed by equal to sign will be your not equal to. So you see the output. I don't have any other I don't have any of the employees who are working in department number 20. The same query I can write in a different approach as well. For this not equal to, you have two different approaches, right? Two different ways of representation. So here select star from EMP where department number not equal to 20. So in both the ways you can with writing the query. So in short, what are the relational operators that we have? The relational operators that we have are equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, alright, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, okay. So all these are your relational operators. See here. Relational operators. So what are your relational operators? You have equal to, not equal to. Not equal to can also be represented in this way: greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So these are all your relational operators. Now let's figure out with a question. Display all those employees who are working as clerks. Now, how to write this particular query? Come on. How to write this particular query? So I did not give you any column names in the required question. So what would I do? I would give select star from EMP. Alright, this is my standard query. Alright. Now the condition is who are working as clerk. So what is a clerk? Clerk is nothing but your designation. So how is designation represented within your table? Designation is represented by using your job column. So what are you going to do? Where job is equal to clerk. Alright. Where job is equal to clerk. Now why am I going with single quotes? Why am I going with single quotes? Why am I going with single quotes? Because clerk is a string type data. I mean, it has got characters within it. Other than it's not literal, it has got characters. String type data. Any data that is having alphabets or special characters, they are treated as your string type data. Other than that, you have your numerical data. So you will be having only numbers. So whenever you are working with numbers, it is not necessary that you have to give codes. Whenever you're working with the characters, whenever you see alphabets or special characters within that particular column, then you have to go with the codes. Now one more thing. If the same query is represented in a different manner, let's say select star from EMP where job is equal to clerk. Job is equal to clerk. I would not get any records as an output. Do we have any employee working as a clerk? Do we have any employees working as a clerk within my table? Yes, there are. Like you have figured out with this, right? Yes, there are employees working as clerks. So how many number of employees you have? We have 4 different employees who are working as clerks. But now, with this part of the query, I'm not going to get any results. It says empty resultant. That means there are no people who are working as clerk. What is the difference between both the queries? Now, in the very first day when we are talking about database, we were stressing on a point called as case sensitive, right? Oracle data is case sensitive. So what do I mean by case sensitive? The way you have the data within your table, the way you have to give your query. If you give the query in a different format, then you will not get the output. See the clerk, all the clerks which in that particular table are given in upper cases. Now the search criteria that you have given is in lowercase. This is the reason why you are not able to retrieve that particular data or retrieve that particular information. Okay, clear? All right. Likewise, display all those employees, right? Display all those employees who are reporting to 7902. So what do you understand by this particular question? What do you understand by this question? Right, manager. Yeah, you are asking about the manager. So select star from EMP where MGR. So manager is represented using the column called as MGR. So 7902. It's a numerical data for me. So I'm just giving it as a number without any quotes. Right, a number without any quotes. Okay. Cool. Right. Display e-name. The next question. Display e-name. Job of those employees who are not working as manager. So how can we write this particular query? Come on. How can we write this particular query? So what do we need? What do you understand from the question? We need e-name and job. Only these two things are required. So what is the table that we are working with? We are working with the table called as EMP. Now what is the question? Who are not as manager? So that means what is the column that is describing about the designation? It is the job, right? Now you have specified everything. Where? Now why am I going with the where clause? Because the requirement is all about filtering that particular records. Where job not equal to your manager. Now this is your query. Okay, so all these peoples are not managers. Okay, clear? Fine. Now, other than this particular relational operators, you have other operator called as your logical operators. So what are your logical operators? You have AND as your logical operator, or as your logical operator, not as your logical operator. So this is the operator that we have seen or we have studied in our schooling days, AND or not. Okay. You have a truth table for it. So what the truth tables say? Let's just give a minute. Okay. So AND operator, if the first condition is true and the second condition is true, the resultant will be true. If the first condition is true, second condition is false, then the resultant is false. If the first condition is false, second condition is true, the resultant is false. If both conditions are false, then the resultant is false. This is what your AND operator says. Likewise, you have your OR operator. OR is different from your AND. True truths are true. True false is true. False true is true. false, false is false. Okay, so this is how. That means so far we are working on only a single condition, like a particular job as manager or particular job manager ID as 7902. But if you have to put multiple conditions in place, then you have to go according to your requirement. For instance, let me take a situation. Display e-name, job and department number, alright, of those employees who are working as clerk at department number 20. So here I have two conditions. Yes, I have to display e-name, I have to display job and department number, but the conditions are these employee names or this employee has to be working as clerk. That is my first condition, and the second condition is, and that too he belongs to department number 20. So this means I have two conditions and both the conditions has to be met. Okay, now think logically. Can a person work in different department? I mean, can a person work what do you say, in two departments at the same time? At the same time, no person can work in two departments. So what will I do here? Job department number from EMP, where job is equal to clerk. This is my first condition. So I met my first condition. Alright. Now I have to go with department number, and department number is equal to 20. Now if I execute this query, I'll get the results. What the resultant says? Resultant says that Smith and Adams are the two persons who are working as clerk, and that too within the department number 20. Now if the same query I write in using or as the clause, what happens? What is the difference between both the things? Now I'm writing the query with or. Now you see what happened. You see the results appearing 7 number, but results is not according to your question. The question is he has to be working as clerk and department number. That means both the conditions needs to be met. Your resultant should only go with both the conditions. Now what is the operator that gives you the output when both the conditions is met? This is the operator. Now I cannot go with this particular operator, because you see, if at all one condition is failing also, if there is a condition that is getting failed, even then you see the output. True in the sense you see the output, right? False in the sense you don't see the output. Okay, so that is what. Okay, so according to your requirement, you have to go with your resultants. Okay, is that clear? Right, display e-name, job of those employees who are working as clerk, analyst. Now how can we write this particular query? How can we write this query? Come on, try. Don't give up.
It's select e-name, job.
Okay.
From employee,
Uh-huh.
where job is equal to clerk and job is equal to analyst.
Okay, this is a wrong one. Reason. What is the reason? Why do you go with and? When do you go with and? First analyze that. So if you go with and, it means that both the conditions has to be met. Now when both the conditions has to be met, can you find an employee working in two different jobs in the same organization?
No.
Can he be a CEO and can he be a manager on the roles? He cannot. Right? So
It should be R.
this should be or. Okay. Now when you execute, what happens? You'll get the employees either they are clerk or analyst. Okay. So you have to understand the question, and based on your understanding, you have to relate it to the scenario and you have to get the output generated. And you have to figure out what is the corresponding operator that needs to be taken in this. Okay? Right. Display employee number, e-name, department number of those employees who are working at 10, 30 departments. So what is the output? What is the query for it? What's the query for it? What do I need to display? I need to display e-name. I need to display, EMP number. I need to display e-name. I need to display department number. From what is my table? EMP table. Now, department number. So, which is the column that is denoting the department number? You have a department number column. 10. Now, what is the operator that I have to use? Just give a minute. The operator that I have to use here? If you go with and, then it is again wrong. The reason why it is wrong.
You missed the where. You missed the where clause.
Yeah. Even then the query is wrong. Even then the query is wrong. Just give a minute. Yes. So if I go with AND operator, again it gives the wrong query. The reason behind it, no employee can log into the department at the same time. So again, the condition has to be OR. Is that okay? Understandable? All right. So you have a special operators as well. So this is your logical operators. We'll talk about the not logical operator after talking about the special operators. Okay. So the other operators that you have is special operators. So you'll use these particular special operators according to your situation. So the first special operator that we are going to learn is about in operator. Okay. So what is this particular in operator? Operator compares a list of similar type values. First thing, this is going to work on similar type values. second thing. Okay. Sorry, it's not in. I'm going to talk about. Yeah. Okay. Second thing. It works just like your OR operator. OR operator, but it has its own limitations. So we'll understand that particular limitations as well. Okay, so let me take a condition. Now, what do I mean by it works on it? Oh, sorry. And there's one more point that needs to be added. It creates a list of similar type values. Let me delete the first one. This is better. Okay. Excuse my system today. Alright, so what does this mean? Now in the earlier case, you have a department numbers 1020 or 1030. That is what we have to retrieve. Right. The same query I'm going to apply in a different format. See here. So what am I going to do? Select EMP number, ename, department number from EMP, where department number in 10, 30. I'll get the same result. Now I could create a list here. So how could I create a list? I could create a list based on my situation, based on my columns. Alright, so based on my related data. So the same query I could able to write with OR operator. In the same query I could able to write with IN operator. Now in the same case, I can even write this particular query using IN operator. So how can I create this particular query? Now to work with IN operator, first you have to figure out the list. You have to figure out the list that needs to be created. So now here the above situation, what is my list? The list is corresponding to a single column called as your job. Alright, so in clerk, comma, analyst. See, I could create. But what is its own limitation? Now if I ask you to display a table, display, we had already created a question. Huh? Yeah. Now if I have to work on this, display ename, job and department number of those employees who are working as clerk at department number 20. Now can I create a list here? I have two different data carrying columns. One column is related to job, another column is related to department number. When I say similar types, it means that both the columns needs to carry same type, same data type value data. Here, clerk is a column which carries the string type data, whereas your department number is a column which carries your numerical data. So in this case, I cannot create a list. Let's say if I try to create a list, what would I specify? See here, select ename, job, right, department number from EMP, where, which is the column I'm supposed to go in order to create the list? I'm in ambiguity. I cannot directly say job in clerk, job in clerk, comma 20. I cannot create a list in this way because the first point or this point, it has to create a list of similar type values. When I say similar type values, why am I using parenthesis to clerk and analyst? See, they are character data. That is what I told you. They are string type data. So every string type data needs to be enclosed in single quotes. Okay, every string type data needs to be enclosed in single quotes. Numerical data need not to be present in single quotes, but string type data, when I say string type data, it can be your characters or special characters, whatever it may be. It has to be in quotes. In very simple words, if you see a column carrying data which is alphabets in nature, A, B to Z, ensure that you are in quotes. Or if you have the column which is carrying data such as your percentages, dollar symbols or ampersands, whatever it is, asterisk, whatever it is, even then you have to enclose in single quotes. Is that okay, Deepthi? All right. Now here, I cannot create a list using dissimilar data types. Now here, this data type is a string type data, I mean varchar, and this is your numerical, so I cannot create a list. And also, job has got a value as clerk, perfect. But do job has a value as 20? No. Right. So if I execute this query, see, invalid number. Right, this is an error message. Okay. Now, what is the limitation of in special operator? The limitation over in special operator is it works only on similar data type carrying columns. Alright, the list has to be created which is going to have similar type of data. Okay. Clear about in operator and the difference between in and or operator? There is a difference between in and or operator. Both operators gives you the same resultant, but in has got a limitation over similar type data. Okay. So the next operator is between and. Between and is another special operator. For example, I have to be displayed with the following columns. Okay, display e-name, job, department number of those employees who are not working as, okay, I don't want to go with not, who are earning the salary, all right, in the range of 1,000 and 3,000. Now what is my requirement? My requirement is all about displaying e-name, job, department number. From what is the table? Your table is EMP. Now what is your filtering condition? Filtering condition is applied over salary column. Now what is it? You have to be displayed with those employees who are earning the salary that is in between. When I say range, it has to be covering your lower interval, also your upper interval. So where salary between 1,000 and 3,000. Okay. The same query can even be written with a relational operator. So how can I write the same query using relational operator? Department number from EMP where salary greater than or equal to 1,000 and salary less than or equal to 3,000. Even this will give you the same resultant. Is that okay? Clear? Between and operator is used to work on a range values. If you have a range defined, then you would be going with between and operator. Okay. Likewise, I forgot to tell you about the not operator here. The not operator, I said there is another relational operator called as not, right? So I'm going to use the not here within our in clause. Now here my question. Display e-name, job, department number of those employees who are not working as clerk, analyst. So earlier we have created a list using a working, alright, working as some particular jobs or working in some particular department numbers. Now the requirement is all about not working. So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to do in this way from EMP, where you have to include a negation. Not is a negation operator which would do opposite to the actual operator. So what does in does? See here, if I say in clerk comma analyst, now I'll be displayed with all those employees. Missing expression where, sorry, what is this job, right? What is this expression? Sorry, what is this particular query? This particular query will generate me the output who are working as clerk or analyst, right? Now my requirement is all about not displaying these particular employees who are working in clerk as or analyst. So what would I do? I would give a negation to that. So when I give a negation, I'll not be displayed with the employees who are working as clerk or analyst. See here, see the resultant: salesman, manager, president, salesman. So what is your not operator? Not is a logical operator which gives you the output, right, which gives you the output in a negation manner. So if at all your output requires the positive values, I mean, let's say if you want, sorry, if you want to be displayed with only working in or earning the salary in the range, so then you would be going with the corresponding special operator. But if you want something to be displayed in a negation manner, not according to the situation, then you go with your not operator. Okay, clear? Display all those employees who are working as clerk, analyst, and salary is greater than 1000. Come on, how are we supposed to write this particular query? Give in two different formats. We can write in two different formats. So what are we supposed to display? We are supposed to display all those employees. So I don't have any columns. So I'm just giving select star from EMP. As simple as that. Now what is the condition? Either the employee has to be working as clerk or as an analyst. So that means my job is equal to clerk or job is equal to analyst. Alright, this is my first requirement. So what I'll do, I'll keep everything in brackets. Thank you. Alright, then and salary greater than 1000. Alright, you see the employee is working as job as clerk or analyst, you're seen with it, and the output displayed is related to your salary, which is greater than 1000. Now the same thing I can create with the same query I can construct with using in operator, where job in So what is the thing? Clerk, comma, analyst. Sorry, and I have forgotten another condition. And salary greater than 1000. Right? Clear? All right. Come on. Next question. I need it from everyone. Please try to answer it. Display e-name, job, salary, commission, and department number who are working as salesman at department number 30 and their commission is half of their salary. Come on. So what do we need to be displayed with? Break the question into part by part. You will be able to answer the things. So what are we supposed to display? We are supposed to display e-name, job, salary, commission, and department number. So from where you have to display them? From the table called as EMP.
Job.
Wait, from the table called as EMP. Then what are you supposed to be displayed? You're supposed to be displayed who is working as salesman. So where job is equal to salesman. Now where this particular salesman needs to be working with?
Department 30.
30. So what am I supposed to do now? Say loudly. Add.
Department number 30.
Department number is equal to 30. Then
And commission
I forgot to mention that. Okay. Commission is greater than. Or write the query in both the ways. Come on. Commission greater than half of their salary. So what is your salary? It's a sal column. Now you have to say half by 2. Where is it? Spelling mistake. You got it? Clear? So go according to the question and then answer the things. So it's not greater than or equal to, because I'm not going with it. The question is not about going with greater than or equal to. It's all about greater than. So in that case, you have to go with only greater than, Simona. Okay? All right. Then we have to talk about and see nulls. So in database, null is something which is not defined. Now, for example, select star from, let's say commission from EMP. Now here, I have a column called as commission where I see some nulls within that particular fields. So what are these particular nulls? These nulls are nothing but the data within that particular column is not yet
There
defined.
is no value.
Sorry?
There, there is no value. There
Yes.
is no data type.
No, it's not about data type, it's about data. You do not have any data that is included within this particular column. Okay, you do not have any data that is included within this particular column, and that is the reason why you see the value as null. Okay, now null is not equal to 0. One more thing. Null is not equal to 0. That means if you don't define any value within that particular column, it will not be equal to 0. Now here you see a value called 0 exists within this particular column. 0 and nulls are not equal. 0 is a value which is defined within that particular column. Null is something which is not defined. So how to work on the columns which is having nulls? So in order to work on the columns which is having nulls, then you have to use an operator called as is. Is the operator which is to be used to work on nulls. Like display all those employees, right? Display all those employees who are not earning the commission. Now what is a select star from EMP where commission is null. So when I say commission is null, that means I'll get all those employees whose commission is not yet defined. When the commission is not yet defined, it means that they are not earning any commission. Alright, the same operator can be used with not. Like let's say display all those employees who are earning the commission. So in this case, what would I do? Select star from EMP where commission is not null. See, when I say commission is not null, that means I would be getting those employees who are earning it. I mean, whose value for that particular column is defined. Okay? Clear? Now, display EMP number, ename, MGR of those employees who do not have manager to report. Now come up with the question. So come up with the answer. So what is the thing? What I need to display it with? EMP number I have to display. I have to display ename. I have to display MGR from EMP. Right. Now what is my requirement? He is not, I need to display only those employees who is not having manager to report. So that means his manager value should not be defined. So what is the column that is going to represent as manager? You have a column called as MGR where MGR is null. So this is the employee called as King who do not have any managers to report. Whenever something is not having any value, then you would see the value as null appearing in that particular column. And in order to work on nulls, you have to use the is operator. Is the operator which is going to be used in order to figure out nulls. Okay. Now, come on. Display the employees who have managers to report. Come on.
So we do not know.
Right. So what is not
Right. So what is right?
where MGR is not null? You'll get all those employees who are working, who is having managers to report. You see a manager ID. In all the employees. Okay? Right. Take out the next question. Display EMP number, e-name, MGR, salary, commission of those employees who have managers to report and do not earn commission. Come on. Query please. So what are we supposed to display with? We are supposed to display EMP number, e-name, MGR, salary, commission, right? So what is the table from on which we are working with? We are working with the table called as EMP. Now, who have managers to report? So that means where MGR is not null. This is your first condition. And do not earn commission. And commission is null. Right? Understood the question and the query? Everyone? Alright, so this is all about your is operator. Is operator is used to work on nulls. You can use with negation operator also. Is not null. Okay? Or if I write the query in this way, good thing to discuss. Now if I write in this way, I'll be seen with an error message. Like, why am I giving you this information? Like, not in, we have written as not in, right? So in order to filter out some records which are not present in that, so we have used it as not in. Okay, but when you're working with is operator, you have to mention it as is not as not is. This is a wrong approach. Okay, this is a wrong approach. Okay, all right. So the next special operator is all about using the like operator. Now like operator is used to work on, let me give like operator. So this particular like operator is used to work on the places where you have something to search, like where you have incomplete data to search. Alright, so for example, I need to figure out all those particular employees whose name has starting letter as A, or whose name starts with A. I do not know the complete employee name. Like earlier, if I want to figure out the person called as Smith, so what would I do? I would say select star from EMP where ename is equal to Smith. Now here I know the complete name of the employee, so I was able to give that. But I do not know the complete employee name. But I need the employees who is having the A as in their starting letter. All right. I do not know the complete names of that particular employee, but I need all those employees who is having A as their initial letter. So what would I do? I'm going with a like operator along with wildcards where ename like. Now inverted comma start. Now I need the employees whose first name letter is as A. I know only A. I do not know anything else other than that. So when I do not know anything else other than that, I would give a percentage as my filler over there. I would close my single quotes. I would give a semicolon, end of that particular statement. Now what is this particular filler? Percentage will act as a filler and it works on group of characters as a whole. Irrespective of number of characters beside to that particular A, it would retrieve the resultant. Now here you see Ellen and Adams. There are two persons who is having A as their starting letter. Likewise, if I want to display those employees whose end letter is as S, so what would I do? Select star from EMP where ename like I do not know the initial set of characters. I'll go with percentage. I do not know anything. Initially, I do not know, right? I need whose name ends with S. So I know only last letter. Simple. Done. See, you have Jones, Adams, James. Is that okay, Binny? Your query will give you the employees whose name starts with S. But if it needs to be ended with S, then you have to give the other way. Okay? Alright. So likewise, I do not know the first name, I do not know the between string. I want to display all those employees whose name starts with M and ends with R. Like display all those employees whose name starts with M and ends with R. So how do I write? Select star from EMP where ename like I know the first letter. What is first letter? M. I do not know the between data. I'll give percentage. I know the last letter R. That's it. You're done. See, there is a person called as Miller. Is that okay? Or else display all those employees who has or whose name has TH. So how would I do this? Select star from EMP. Now here the question did not say whether this is the first letter or whether this is the middle letters or whether these are the end part of that particular string. You do not know anything, right? So what are you supposed to do now? Right. So where ename like okay. Now I do not know the initial part or the end part, right? So I know only th is the requirement. I do not know whether this would be end string or starting string. All right. So this is how. Is that okay? Perfect. All right. like the next situation, display all those employees whose name contains M in second position whose name contains M in second position. Now this is what my requirement is. Now that means I do not know the first character. I know the second character. I do not know the end part of the string. I just know only the second occurrence, second positioning of that particular, second position value of that particular name. I do not know the initial position, the rest of the positions. I'm not even bothered about it. So how would I do this? So select star from EMP where ename, again we are working on ename, like inverted comma start, because this is a character string. I do not know the first character. So if I place a percentile, what happens here? Percentile will fetch for group of characters. It may either pull the 3 people or 4 people or it may even pull 3 characters before M or 4 characters before M, irrespective of that particular matching criteria. But I know the second position. So what is the second position value? It is as M. So if I go with my percentage as an operator, what happens? It would fetch more than one character. So I need only one character to be searched, and that is done using underscore. And I'm not bothered about the end part of this particular string. I'll give a percentage over there. Now this would give me the resultant. Okay. Is that okay? Clear? For example, to be more clear with this particular example, let me give you a situation. Display all those employees whose name contains L in third position. Okay, now I write the query in this way. Select star from EMP where ename like I do not know the first and second position. So instead of that, to get that, I'm giving a percentile. I gave L and I do not know the end part of the string. Yes, this would give me the result, but see the things. What happened? Alan. Yes, L is in your third position. Okay, you may think that okay, this is the correct query. But check your Blake as a result. What happened for Blake? L is in second position. But is it correct according to your query? No, it's not. Right. Clark, again, L is in second position. It's not correct. Miller, yes, L is in third position, but you have L in fourth position also. Okay, so what needs to be done here? You do not know exactly 2 characters. So what you have to do, select star from EMP where ename like, I do not know the first one, I'll give an underscore. I even do not know the second one, I'll give another underscore. I know the third one, but I'm not bothered about the rest part. Just it as it is. Done. So you see that L has been in 3 particular areas, and you see the data appearing for it. Is that okay? Clear? Understood the difference between an underscore and a percentile? Underscore works on a single character, whereas percentile will work on group of characters. Any questions over this? All right. The next special operator is a distinct operator. So what is this distinct operator? What does this distinct operator do? So distinct operator would give only unique records as an output. For example, if I say select job from EMP, I would see the data getting repeated. So when I say data getting repeated, you see salesman repeated for 5 times, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times. Salesman is repeated 4 times. Clerk is repeated for 4 times. Analyst is repeated for another n number of times. So you see the data is getting repeated, right? But I want to display only unique set of data from this particular table corresponding to this particular column. So what I have to do? I have to make use of distinct operator, distinct of job from EMP. And distinct operator needs to be used right after your select statement. As soon as you start your select statement, give a distinct, then followed by that particular column. Alright, now earlier you see that there were 14 records as an output, which includes your duplicate records. But now with the help of this distinct operator, you are able to display only 5 records, and these 5 records are unique records. No data is matching to one another. Alright, clear? But when working with distinct operator, if you are going to use multiple columns, when multiple columns are used with distinct operator, it is going to eliminate if all the columns contains duplicates. So what do I mean by this? Now let's take the situation in this way. Select distinct of department number comma job from EMP. If I execute this query, how many department numbers do I have in my employee table? If I execute this, I have totally 14 records, and all the 14 records are mapped to, all the employees below are mapped to at least one department. So 10, 20 and 30. So I have 3 departments. Now if I modify this particular query into department number, how many records do I get? I'll get only 3 records as an output. Right, 10, 20 and 30. Here I have mentioned select distinct of department number comma job. Now I will not get 3 records, but I'll get more than 3. It totally depends on both the columns. Now if both the columns are containing duplicates, then you would get the result. You would see this. Select department number comma job from EMP. If I execute this part of the query, now you see I get 14 records as an output. Okay, I'm just arranging the data in one particular manner so that we can easily figure out. Now you see 10 manager, 10 president, 10 clerk. So 10 department number has got distinct jobs, different jobs. So both the columns is not containing duplicates. You would see all these 3 records appearing in the output. So I'm just mentioning them here. Alright, 20 manager, 20 analyst, not a problem, they are distinct. But you see 20 clerk is appearing twice. So what happens? It would remove one of the duplicate. Alright, so it would remove one of the duplicate and it will give you 20 clerk. And you see 20 analyst is being repeated again. So only one record will be displayed as an output. So 20 analyst. Alright, 20 manager, there is only one manager working with 20 department. So it will be seeing him. Likewise, you have 30 salesmen and 30 salesmen. You have 4 employees who are working in 30 department, and that too on salesmen. So all these 4 records are duplicate records. Alright, 30 clerk is a unique record. I would see in the output. 30 manager is another unique record that I would see in the output. So altogether, what is this particular output contains? This output will contain only the above strings. You see 10 department, like let me arrange the data in one particular order. See 10 president, 10 manager, 10 clerk. You see 10 manager, 10 president, 10 clerk. Right? So 20 analyst, 20 manager and 20 clerk. See 20 analyst, 20 manager and 20 clerk. 30 clerk, 30 manager and 30 salesman. See? Altogether, I am seeing with 9 records. So how did I derive this particular output? The output is derived based on the condition that you have given. So whenever you are working with distinct operator, if both the columns is containing duplicates, only then they are going to get eliminated. If not, they are not going to get eliminated. You would see all the records. Is that okay? Clear? Any questions over this? Then the next operator is order by. So this is another special operator. Like you wanted to display the data in one particular order. Let's say select star from EMP. Select star from EMP. If I execute this part of the table, you see the data appearing in one different manner. Okay. Now if I want to display the data according to their salaries, and I want to get the data arranged in their salary, in the range of their salaries, I mean in the order of their salaries. So what would I do? I have to go with the order. So select star from EMP. Order by is the what is it? Order by is the operator that you have to go with. Order by salary ascending. If I want to arrange the data in one particular order, that is in ascending order, I'll be going with ASC as the order specification. Now if I don't give this ASC also, I'll get the data in the same manner. So the default ordering of the data is ascending order. The default ordering of order by clause is ascending order. If I want to arrange the data in descending order of their salaries, so what would happen? DESC. This is how you would be ordering the salaries in your descending order. Okay. Even you can order the multiple columns at the same time. So the ordering of multiple columns depends on both the columns. Like let's say salary, comma, department, descending. So what am I trying to say here? I'm asking to arrange the data based on their salary in ascending order and department number in descending. So what do I mean by this? Whenever I give such a statements, what happens here is the first column will be fully arranged in one particular order. Then the data would be arranged based on your second column. Alright, this will not give you the correct identification. Let's say in this way. Department number column, comma, salary, descending. Okay, so what happens? First department number would be fully arranged. So what are the department numbers that we have? The department numbers are 10, 20 and 30. Right. So you would see the data arranging in the form of 10, 20 and 30 departments, and their internal salaries would be arranged in a different manner. See here. I'm executing this part of the query. See the data arranged 10, 20 and 30. Perfect. Yes. According to my requirement. Now salary has to be in descending order. See 5,000, 2,450, 1,300. For the 10 department, after arranging, this is arranged in descending order. Likewise, you see for the 20 department. Alright, 20, 3,000, 2,095, sorry, 2,975, 1,100, 800. Likewise, your 30 department. Right. If I leave even this particular column, now what happens? The output changes. See here. Earlier 5000 was on the top. Now 5000 came onto the third position. Now what is the understanding over the order by clause? Within an order by clause, if multiple columns are used for ordering the data or structuring the data, then the first column will be fully ordered in one particular order. Then based on this particular order, the second column will be ordered accordingly. Is that okay? Clear? Right? So any questions so far? All right. So these are the things that we have as part of our special operators. The next thing that we are going to work on is the functions. So within the functions, we'll be covering about the mathematical functions, the string functions. We'll be talking about the main important functions that we have as part of our work life. So we'll be covering all the important and main functions as part of strings and numerical functions. Likewise, we'll be covering with the date functions. Okay, clear? All right. So I have few questions for you. Okay. The questions are in this way. How can we practice this on your computer? You have your database installed, right, Simona? Don't you have it? Yes, once you have your things installed on your computer, you can configure your database called as COT and then you can practice on it. Don't you have it? Don't you have this COT database configured? Yes, if you have, you will be able to. All right. Now, right. So this is your assignment questions. The first question. Display all employees or whose name contains third character as well. This is your first question. And second question, display all employees whose name contains A in their second occurrence. So these are your assignment questions. If you are able to solve it now, good. Else, understand the things, solve it, and get it done tomorrow. So I'm sending it to everyone. All right. Any other questions so far? Because I don't want to overburden right away with huge set of things because we are going to talk on functions. Be clear with these particular concepts. Then we can talk more and more about the database related things. Okay. So any questions so far for today? And also please configure your database. All right. Without that, you'll not be able to move forward. Okay. So if you're good, then okay, I'll get in touch with who's the one who reported. That day she was not able to have the database installed. Simona, right? Bini. I'll get in touch with Bini because she has a problem with the database. I'll fix that particular issue, and you can take rest for today and practice the things. Yeah, please send an email. I'll work on it because, or else I'll make you as a presenter. You can share your screen. I'll see what's the trouble, and I can troubleshoot it. It closes everything in one way and one direction, and that is how it is. Okay. So see you guys. So tomorrow we are going to learn about functions. Okay. So within the functions we'll see more and more things, but practice is much more required. Do that. Okay. Okay then. Thanks. So Bini, I'm making you as a presenter. Please share your screen.